Once upon a time in a busy city there lived a girl named Hope. She was 16 years old and full of dreams. Her life was filled with love, especially from her mother and father. However, everything changed when her mother passed away. This was a devastating time for Hope and her dad, Mr. Thomas. They tried to support each other through their grief, but the sadness was overwhelming. To bring some joy back into their lives, Mr. Thomas decided to marry again. He thought a new family could help them heal. He married a woman named Mrs. Turner, who had 2 sons, Mark and Luke, ages 17 and 18. Hope was optimistic and tried her best to welcome Mrs. Turner and her sons. She hoped they would all become one happy family. However, things did not go as Hope had hoped. Mrs. Turner did not like her. She often said, "I can't have more than 2 children in this house," even though this house was where Hope's late mother and father had built their lives. Mrs. Turner made Hope feel unwelcome and lonely. She was harsh and critical, always finding fault in everything Hope did. Hope's dad, Mr. Thomas, who used to be very close to her, started to change. He seemed distant and didn't see how unhappy Hope was. He spent most of his time trying to keep peace with Mrs. Turner, leaving Hope feeling more alone each day. She missed the close bond she once shared with her father. One gloomy afternoon, Mrs. Turner and her sons kicked Hope out of the house, saying there wasn't enough space for her anymore. Heartbroken, Hope packed her things and moved to the village to live with her grandmother, Granny Rose. Moving from the busy city to the quiet village was a big change for Hope. The village was calm with birds singing and trees swaying in the breeze. It was different, but Granny Rose loved her very much and took good care of her. When Hope first arrived in the village, she felt out of place. The village was quiet and peaceful, but it was so different from the lively city she was used to. Granny Rose lived in a small, cozy house, surrounded by a beautiful garden full of colorful flowers and chirping birds. Granny Rose welcomed Hope with open arms and made her feel at home. Hope had to adjust to a new routine. She helped Granny Rose with chores, such as fetching water from the well, tending to the garden, and cooking meals. Granny Rose was wise and gentle, always having a kind word and a warm smile. She taught Hope many things, like how to grow vegetables and cook delicious meals from scratch. Granny Rose also encouraged Hope to focus on her studies. She believed education was the key to a better future. Hope attended the village school, which was much smaller than her previous school in the city. The teachers were kind, and the students were friendly, but Hope still missed her old life. Despite the challenges, Hope worked hard and excelled in her studies. She spent her evenings reading and doing homework by the light of an oil lamp. Granny Rose would sit with her, knitting or telling stories about her own childhood. These moments brought Hope comfort and strength. Whenever Hope visited the city to see her dad, she felt a mix of emotions. She was happy to see him, but she also felt the pain of not being able to go back home. Meeting at the mall became their special time together. They would visit their favorite ice cream shop, watch movies, and talk about everything happening in their lives. These meetings kept their bond alive and motivated Hope to keep going. Hope would spend the night at her auntie's house because she couldn't go back home. Hope's hard work paid off when she received a scholarship to a prestigious university. It was a dream come true for her, She packed her bags and said a tearful goodbye to Granny Rose, promising to visit often. At the university, Hope was determined to make the most of the opportunity. She studied diligently, participated in various activities, and made new friends. One of Hope's professors, Dr. Williams, noticed her dedication and took her under his wing. He became her mentor, guiding her through her studies and helping her with research projects. Dr. Williams admired Hope's resilience and believed in her potential. Hope graduated with honors and landed a great job in a renowned company. She moved into her own apartment, decorated it warmly, and felt a sense of accomplishment. She was finally living the life she had dreamed of. Meanwhile, back in the city, Mrs. Turner became very sick. She was diagnosed with a serious illness that required expensive treatment. Mr. Thomas had to leave his job to take care of her, and Mark and Luke's incomes were not enough to cover the medical bills. They were desperate and didn't know where to turn. One day, Mr. Thomas decided to call Hope. It was a difficult decision for him because he knew how badly Hope had been treated. With a heavy heart, he explained the situation and asked for her help. Hope listened quietly, feeling a mix of emotions. She remembered the pain and rejection she had felt, but her compassionate heart couldn't ignore their plight. Hope decided to help her father and Mrs. Turner. She used her savings to pay for the medical bills and hired a nurse to take care of Mrs. Turner. She even sent money for household expenses to ensure they were comfortable. Mrs. Turner was stunned by Hope's generosity. She couldn't understand how the girl she had mistreated could show such kindness. She began to reflect on her past actions and realized how wrong she had been. Mrs. Turner felt a deep sense of remorse and shame. Mr. Thomas was overwhelmed with gratitude. He realized that Hope had grown into a remarkable young woman, full of compassion and strength. He regretted not being there for her when she needed him the most, and vowed to make amends. As Mrs. Turner's health improved, she decided to have a heart-to-heart conversation with Hope. With tears in her eyes, she apologized for the way she had treated her and asked for her forgiveness. Hope, with her kind heart, accepted the apology and assured Mrs. Turner that she held no grudges. This act of forgiveness brought healing and reconciliation to the family. Mr. Thomas and Hope rebuilt their relationship, stronger than ever. Mrs. Turner, Mark, and Luke also changed for the better. They began to appreciate and love Hope, recognizing the beautiful person she was. Hope's journey was a testament to the power of kindness and forgiveness. Despite the hardships she faced, she chose to respond with love and compassion. Her actions transformed the hearts of those around her and brought peace and harmony to her family. But Hope's story didn't end there. Her kindness continued to ripple through her life and the lives of those she touched. As Hope settled into her job, she found herself working with people from all walks of life. She became known for her patience and willingness to help others. Her colleagues admired her dedication and the positive energy she brought to the office. One day, Hope's company organized a community service event at a local orphanage. Hope was eager to participate. She spent the day playing with the children, helping them with their homework, and listening to their stories. She saw herself in their eyes, remembering the loneliness and uncertainty she had once felt. Hope's heart ached for these children. She wanted to do more than just visit them occasionally. she decided to start a mentorship program at the orphanage. She recruited volunteers from her workplace and the community to spend time with the children, helping them with their studies, teaching them new skills, and just being there as friends. The program was a huge success. The children thrived under the attention and care of their mentors. They started doing better in school and felt more confident about their futures. Hope's efforts were making a real difference in their lives. Hope's initiative caught the attention of the local media. She was invited to speak about her program at various events and even received awards for her community service. But for Hope, the greatest reward was seeing the smiles on the children's faces and knowing she was helping to shape a brighter future for them. Mrs. Turner, Mark, and Luke also became more involved in Hope's life. They attended her community events and supported her initiatives. Mrs. Turner, in particular, was determined to make up for her past mistakes. She started volunteering at the mentorship program, building bonds with the children and showing them the kindness she had once denied Hope. As the years went by, Hope's life was filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. She had turned her pain into purpose, transforming not only her own life, but the lives of countless others. Her story was a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and resilience. She had faced immense challenges, but she had emerged stronger and more compassionate. Her story was an inspiration to everyone who heard it, reminding them that no matter how difficult life may be, kindness and forgiveness can transform even the darkest situations. Thank you for watching. God bless you.